What's up, everyone? The weekend is finished. Content is back. I mean, yesterday we had a long live stream as well with the altcoin stream. Today, I don't know, YouTube not changing. 1 second. YouTube forgot to change the thumbnail when I uploaded the new thumbnail for this particular video. It's not an altcoin stream, okay? It's a Bitcoin stream. The altcoin stream was yesterday, right? So you can check that one out if you're interested. So in today's live stream, we're gonna cover this chart, and the price action to the downside is quite interesting. Looks to be an impulse, but preferably one more low for a double 1-2, finishing with a double 4-5 on top of the support would be quite nice. There we go. So did we actually hit it? Oh yes, we did. Very nice. Welcome, 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 welcome. Banger songs. Mido, Odin, how you doing? Joshua, Serega, Bina, Hiop, Bogdan, nice to have you here, man. Nice to see Bogdan back trading. Interesting PA for sure. Already since the 63k top pretty much, no? I'm just here for the intro music. Yo, I gotta write the artist, honestly, and tell them like, yo, got fans. This one. Alright. This is the favorite. This is the banger. Samurai by Jim Joseph. So yeah, I don't know the guy. I found the song randomly. Don't really know, but yeah, he brought out many more songs, and some of these are actually very famous songs that you will know, like the non-copyrighted songs. When YouTube started to implement adding songs to videos, everyone used the same type of songs. Remember? So like. Let me play here, Firefly. I mean, come on. You guys, you gotta know this, guys. Everyone knows this song, right? So, yeah. Very nice. But, yo, we're not DJing today, of course. We are analyzing and trading today. And listening to bangers. Probably a game song. Oh, Mark. Do you not know that song, Firefly? Jeez, eh? Jeez. Generational gap, yo. Oh, man. John, how you doing? Jen, welcome. Alimo, good to have you here, everyone. Hodl Crypto, good morning. Chanuka, thanks, merci. Pleasure de rien. Sabor. Pierre, welcome, man. welcome. Good to have you here. Pierre popping in from Avignon in France. Had the honor of meeting Pierre and his family a few weeks ago when I traveled to the south of France doing my road trip with my wife. Having a great lunch in Avignon with a view on the Pont d'Avignon, which is famous for the song Sur le Pont d'Avignon. It's a French song, but very well known. So, yo, good to have you here, Pierre. John, what's up? How you doing? Our micro counter. Actually, I got to say, so John likes to count 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, and start building positions up to longer time frames, higher time frames. But John, his skills are being transferred to other members in the gold Elliott Wave section, as Pistachio started to do low time frame counting. Then you have Overset Tim that loves to do low time frame counting. You got Ike Ike, also doing the low time frame stuff. So holy moly! Then you have Bettina with the diagonals and the low time frame count. Oh, there she is. There she is. Yo, Beata, welcome. Yeah. Very well. Very nice. Well done. Lads and lasses, no? Lads and lasses. Okay, what's up, everyone? So in today's live stream, couple of things. I have a maximum of 50 minutes left because, quite exciting, I have a meeting in 52 minutes with a company that is gonna build the website. And yes, that is what's happening in the background. So a website will be developed, which is going to be a central hub for many things that are going to be connected to the koenztrading channel. And it makes life easier, not only for you, but also for me, with regards to memberships, free downloads, paid downloads, merchandise, like free educational stuff, like I don't know, like stuff we're working on in the background. It just creates like a one hub instead of Discord, which what you see in Discord will remain in Discord, but instead of having a different, like for future stuff, having a different channel, like, oh, now we need this and now we need this, I can centralize it into one place. So that makes life a bit easier. So that is going to be something that we're going to develop in the final quarter of this year. No idea when it's going to be finished. The company is going to present their plan after the first meeting that we had. I gave them everything that I want. And probably they have some additional ideas and stuff. And yeah, then they're going to work on it. But today they will present me the plan, and Jeroen, he will be there as well. So quite interesting indeed. So that is why in 50 minutes I have to fly, because I'm going to go into a meeting. I'll bring the hot tub. Barbecue hot tub sounds good, guys. I would like that here, but I got the ocean. So that is why I got to go very soon. And of course, second, we're going to analyze the charts. Not too much has changed, but we can analyze this move to the downside here. And we're going to start on the 4-hour time frame, because really the most interesting part on the chart at the moment is the 4-hour and the 1 hour. So we're going to focus on these two, and also the 15-minute to the downside. The probabilities explained this morning played out. We took the low right after the 886 touch, bearish CVDs. Very, very nice. Everything according to plan. So we're going to analyze the chart, and then have some time for chatting, Q&A, and then eventually I got to go. Yeah, the thumbnail is incorrect. I don't know why YouTube decided to launch the stream with the old thumbnail. Everyone, it's a Bitcoin stream, not an altcoin stream. So I don't know. I literally in my settings of the live stream, I switched it to the new thumbnail, Bitcoin Elliott wave analysis and Q&A. I clicked on go live, and in Discord, it then shows me the altcoin thumbnail. So I don't know if it needed more time to load, but I don't know. Happens. Yo, Abdul. I mean, you can always send me a message. Of course, I prefer to, like, I'll now work with a company, and it's of course preferred if everything happens internally, but it's always good to have a network of software engineers, IT people, like people in the community that have a certain skill. If you have, write me a DM, because there might be a point in time where I'm going to reach out to you and be like, yo, I actually need this and this developed. Can you do that? And then we can work and collaborate together. And of course, I'll pay your ass, because that's how things work. So send me a message if you have a certain skill, doesn't matter what. And I have a whole Word document list with people that are in the community and their skills behind it. So I know like who to write for something. So yeah, John just DM me. John doesn't DM me because of his skill, which is Elliott Waves 1 and something else. He just DMs me because we like to DM. Just send me a DM, John. I'll make sure to check it out. Tim, what's up? Engineer. Tim is a 3D. I mean, Tim, you like. Look, you make 3D designs, custom made for companies that need stuff, right? Like generally like doors and frames and metal stuff and industrial things. And then the designs that Tim Boerboom in chat makes are being developed by machines and eventually implemented into, you know, whatever, a house, company. Let me move all of this down. And you know what? Actually, what Tim is doing, so Tim in the chat, by the way, is a real life friend of mine. And already for, what, like 16, 17, 18 years, I don't know. And he never studied for the job that he has nowadays. It was a hobby turned into work. Okay, let's get started. So, Tim is a farmer. His brother is the Photoshop guy. He's the one that put the bunnies and the pig in my garden. Okay, 16 minutes 30 seconds. Okay, let's start. So we're going to mainly focus on the 4-hour, 1 hour, and locally the 15-minute time frame, right? So even though not too much has changed on a 4-hour, 1 hour time frame, it remains a very interesting grind to the downside and a very interesting move towards the upside, which if you look at the 4-hour time frame is clearly looking like a 3-wave move towards the upside. Now, some people may raise their eyebrows when they then see in the analysis that I have a wave 1 at the top here as well, followed by, for example, wave 2 here. So I have a 1 and W, 2 or X, 3 or Y. Same is true here. I have a 1 or W, 2X, 3Y. Now the reason why I put the 1 and 2 also on the chart, right, is because of you never know. That's also Elliott wave. So because the probabilities on the 4-hour time frame at the moment remain higher to still move up and take W at some point, even if you do move to 55K at this point in time, there's always that opportunity of moving into a 3 or a second wave 1, because this move up, higher probabilities, it is a 3-waver. Higher probabilities for this to be an ABC in a W, looking for X, Y, and then another low to be made at the moment on a 4-hour time frame. But last week we deep dived into this structure, and there is at least a opportunity, slim opportunity, to count this as a 1, 2, 3, have a small, very short range of 4, and then a 5, right? Where your wave 4 hit the 0.382 fib time compared to 2, meaning wave 4 is 38% in time compared to your wave 2. Most commonly, wave 4 is longer, but you can see that it's very much a 3-wave looking structure. So therefore, a W is preferred compared to a 1. But if we are looking for another leg towards the upside in a wave Y or 3, because you're looking for another move up and then a wave Y, depending on the structure to the upside, right? Is it an impulse or a 3-wave corrective structure? We can again talk about probabilities of 1, 2, 3 or WXY. But at the moment, a WXY 3-wave corrective structure has a higher probability, right? So that is therefore what we are at the moment looking for. Now, with regards to the 4-hour scenarios, there is three folders, but they all lead to similar price action, really. Except for, of course, the bear, but the 2 bullish scenarios. Actually, after making the video this morning, I was like, I don't actually know why I showed both of these scenarios, because in the end, this scenario here, that's not what I was looking for. This scenario here with the 2 lines on the chart basically summarize the bullish options, quote unquote bullish, right? So I don't actually need to really show this one going for one more low in Y, because, well, that's exactly kind of like what it's a different scenario, but the price action is the same. And if I don't want to confuse a bigger audience where not everyone may know, like, why is this different than this, right? I mean, yeah, you don't really want to make things too complicated. But that is what we will do during live streams, because that's where we can talk about complicated stuff and answer questions if people don't get it. So at the moment, when we look at this move towards the upside, probability is higher for the W. That is bearish, because if we are looking for a W, X, Y, we expect another retracement to the downside afterwards. But based on this first structure up as explained, probabilities are higher for it to be a 3-wave compared to a 5-wave, with your alternative then being a 1, 2, and eventually we look for a 3. Now, if we look at a finished 3-wave corrective structure, because in 2 or X you want to have a finished 3-wave corrective structure, then we need to count this as a double zigzag internally, meaning zigzag to the downside, right? Label the W, any corrective structure to the upside in an X, and another zigzag to the downside in a Y. WXY double zigzag finishing 2 or X, and then you look for either a zigzag, 5, 3, 5 up, or a flat, right? 3-wave, take the lows, move to 55, and then move up to reach the 0.618, eventually preferably take out the high. Now, what does impact the probabilities, but it is not an invalidation, but it is something we always keep an eye on here on the channel, is that wave X hit the 0.7 Fibonacci, taken from the start to the end of your W here, which does reduce the probabilities for a double zigzag. So at least that is something we have to keep in mind if we go into the nitty-gritty of what this range actually is. It's something that we have to think about. It is not an invalidation, it's just something that affects probabilities, right? Now in the purple line count, we are then looking for a wave 1. We want to see a 3-wave structure down and continuation up. Keep that in mind, because we are going to zoom in to the 50-minute time frame here. At the moment, right, so far, this move down has a bit of an impulsive look, a 5-wave structure. But if we want to see a 3-wave move down in purple, we need to see a 5, 3, 5, and then a continuation up, right? And then we have the yellow line, of course, where we simply take the low and then you expect another leg towards the upside, right? Okay. In your other bullish scenario, you want price to still finish wave Y. So we have a zigzag in W, running flat in X, which by the way is very rare, never preferred unless everything else fails. And then eventually you have a wave Y to the downside. So we are literally looking at a running flat in X for the probabilities versus a double zigzag where wave X in a double zigzag moved to the 0.7. Sometimes, you know, Elliott waves can be a pain in the ass. But the price section is relatively similar. And that is what we then should focus on, right? It's the similarity between different wave structures. So in this case, you look for a zigzag in X and then eventually a wave Y towards the downside. Zigzag, flat, triangle, doesn't matter, right? So the probabilities remain higher to still look for that leg towards the upside. But 55 is very interesting, and more so also because of the fibs taken from the low here to the high, price retraced to the 0.382, which is a minimum target for BX to pretty much any corrective structure, right? A, B, C, W, X, Y, 1, 2, 3, you name it, right? The 382 is a minimum target. It's very rare for a retracement to not at least hit the 382, right? In probabilities perspective. Now the 382 out of all the fibs still has lower probabilities compared to an 05 to 786 area. Besides this area being a lot bigger, that is your most common retracement area. And what is interesting is that, by the way, we hit support here right? 57.5, 57.8. But what's interesting is that in this box, we have two extra additional support boxes, 54.6, 55.3, 52.3, 52.9, pretty much 53K really. So if we do move down, I'm not too keen on moving all the way down to 52. That would be quite deep though, but that's more maybe personal. But the 55 area is very interesting. But that would we need a 5, a 3, and a bigger 5 towards the downside to go that low, right? So in other words, if this move to the downside is corrective, a 3-wave structure, we look up for price to take out at least this high here at 60.4K that we made on Sunday. If the move down counts better on the 15 as an impulse, then the scenarios remain open. We either look for a 5-3-5 continuation, or we're going to look for downside, right? Moving towards 55, and then we simply observe the reaction here and see if it holds, the yes or the no, right? So let's then zoom in to the lower time frame. We're on the 50-minute time frame. We over here had the 886 touch together with the bearish CVDs. The probabilities mentioned in the morning played out nicely. 15-minute time frame, probability is higher to take the low. Price was at that moment in time ranging here at about 58.6K. Got the drop to the downside. Confluence with bearish CVDs. No market structure change. And here we are, right? Solid move to the downside, eventually a solid retracement back up. But nice that the probabilities played out. So, this, therefore, by the way, we can remove this from the chart. All right, so we will analyze this section in a second, because actually, I just reminded myself, before I want to go into the 50-minute time frame, let's talk about bearish scenarios first, just to explain why the bullish scenarios have a higher probability. No, I do have the completed structure, which is this scenario here. So I have it on my chart, the WXY finished, WXY 2X, and then continuation up. But then again, it depends on the correction, right? So we want to see a 3-waver here. But I have it on my chart, knowing that it is a potential scenario that we have here. Yeah. What's up, QZ World, by the way? So I'll answer the questions and stuff in a second. So bearish scenarios, right? Because you always have to be prepared. They don't have the highest probability at the moment, but preparation key to success. No. So last week, the bearish scenario was a 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 1, 2 continuation down. Okay. Now there are different reasons why the probabilities for those scenarios were lower compared to the bullish count. If this is a wave 1, 2, right, and you look for another 1, 2 continuation, then this wave 2 is 8 times longer than 1. This, as you can see, would be a flat ABC, but your B is very deep. Even for a wave X, even if you would like to label this WXY, it's still very deep for B as well as an X. And if we do look for a flat, you did not take out this high. So it's a running flat. It's not great. Second, if we label this 1, 2, 1, 2 continuation, then we somehow need a 5-wave structure in here, which is very difficult on the lower time frames. Now, the only thing that I keep in mind with these two bearish scenarios is the potential of this being an ABC. Now, why are the probabilities not yet in favor of this? Is because your wave B hit the 1.618, which is a rare target for wave B in an expanding flat. But we cannot, at least, like, we should consider this because the candles closed in the common target area. So yeah, we wicked to the 1.618, but we closed in the common target area for a B, right? So therefore, I am very aware, and this is where risk management comes in, that if we count a 5-wave structure down on the 15, and we get a 3-wave corrective retracement up, I am very aware of a potential zigzag. This is your bullish scenario, or more locally, or continuation, where you do have a multi 1-2 here with some sort of a flat that is finished. Of course, taking out this high would lower probabilities, but we haven't done that just yet. So we are prepared. Risk management is important. In other words, if we do move to a 55, I do not have any limit orders set. I mean, no financial advice, but that's my plan. I do not have any limit orders in at any place here, because if we do move down, right, in a bullish case, a flat, in a bearish case, continuation, I observe the reaction. Wait for price to stabilize, range, observe the range, get a bounce, grind to the upside, bullish CVDs, continuation, right? Flip some resistance back in support, la-di-la-di-la, and then eventually I'm happy to join. I don't care about being, sniping the high or sniping a low. I trade probabilities, right? So I need the probabilities in my favor. But at least I'm aware. And the awareness is what's going to save my ass just in case. It's almost the same size, yes. So a double 1-2, right, is not the highest probability here. Also not really for the best, but it is something I'm aware of, which is important. Now then, a scenario that I thought of this morning is this one here. WX running flat in Y. Zigzag, zigzag, running flat. Again, running flat, very rare, never preferred unless pretty much everything else fails. Because C did not take the high of A. Also, wave Y is incredibly shallow. Take a trend-based fib from the low to the high of W to the end, the low here of your X. Your minimum target for Y is actually the 0.618 at 66K. Well, clearly we didn't reach it. So this bearish scenario here doesn't have great probabilities, but also the double 1-2s, 1-2, 1-2 down, or 1-2, 1-2 down, they also don't have great probabilities. I guess arguably, if we do want to be bearish, right, then just focus on this area of the chart and just forget about counting this. You just want to count this as a wave 1, 2, 1, 2, and eventually a big move down, right? So you don't even really need to count all of this. Just focus on what's happening here. And then you have a bearish count, which is a wave 1, 2, continuation down, and of course the bullish counts as explained. But at the moment, the bullish scenarios on a 4-hour time frame remain a higher probability, but it's good that we are aware of the bearish options. Now let's go to the 15-minute time frame. So on the 15-minute, we grinded towards the upside. Pretty much during the whole weekend, we just moved up. It was very slow. Let's see, this is where the weekend pretty much started. So where did we end the weekend? Yeah, so literally this is your weekend price action, which is quite typical for the weekend. But yeah, weekend price action. We wigged the high. Highest probabilities, at least the silvers know. I didn't really make Bitcoin content, but the silvers will know. Silver updates, hit the 886, moved to the golden pocket, back up, took the high. 886 probabilities playing out again. And now we have this move towards the downside. Now this is your actually locally most interesting area of support here, which is 57.5, 57.8. We hit it. All right, so the box has been hit for at least a solid move towards the upside, right? At least 1% here, not bad. And if I open all of my folders here, then you can see that this box is pretty much the only thing that is keeping price from taking the lows. If we lose this, there's not, I don't have any horizontals here anymore. We are going to be below the value area lows of a few volume profiles, which I'll show in a second. So preferably for the bulls, you hold this. Now to the upside, resistance, weekly naked point of control, daily naked point of control. You can see that they're quite spread out. That is the reason why I don't put this into a target box, because for me it's too big to put a target box here. So I prefer the individual levels and just observe. But what is good to know is that the daily is in confluence with a point of control. Right, so the point of control, let me put this on the chart. It's going to be messy. I don't generally like messy charts, but here is your range, your upper section, right? So this is pretty much your lower section. This is your current range. And the point of control of this range is in confluence with the daily. So if you had to pick one, the daily in confluence with the point of control is very important resistance. It's also a small order block, right? And a support resistance area here. So 59.5 would be your main area of resistance at the moment. A weekly naked point of control is always important. It's just that there's not like a lot of different, like confluence, probably a point of control, like maybe a golden pocket or something. Let me have a look here. What can we find? No, the golden pocket is in confluence with the daily and the point of control and an order block and support resistance. So yeah, pretty much 59.5 would be a main area of resistance. I am going to put a little target box here. It would be good to keep an eye on what's happening here. So up a lot, make this a box. And then all right. Almost. There you go. Now, just to show you two more volume profiles, making things even more messy. Here's one. And here is two. And you can see that below 57.5, there's pretty much nada. So for the bulls, like John says in the chat, this is important support. If you lose 57.5 and start to act as resistance here, right? Flips support into resistance. I mean, you're pretty much going to 55. That's going to be your next area of support. You know, a few volume profiles, but then here's your daily. I don't know what else we have here. That's why I have a box, but a confluence area of support. So yeah. 57.5, important. Now, as price has been moving to the downside quite sharply, there is at least a potential here for this to be an impulsive structure, a 5-wave move, either a single 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or the double 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for another 5 down. Right? Now, another 5 down is invalidated if we hit the 618 at 59.1. But be aware of this. So yeah, we are starting to look for a bit of a bigger retracement taken from the high to the low on the 50-minute time frame. All right, let me toggle on not that one, but this one. So we made a low. We didn't yet move to the 382. The probabilities at the moment on the 15 are higher to look for a retracement, meaning upside. Even if you look for a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 4 here, find resistance at this previous range, and another 5, we know that we still have a daily here for support. We don't really want to lose this box. And then the probabilities are still higher to move into the fibs. Right, so the 382 minimum, and then the 05 golden pocket 786. So at the moment, after hitting the support that we've done here, and we still have some left, it starts to be more interesting to look for upside, even if you do come down once more to finish a double 1-2 and then a double 4-5 and then move up. Right, so that is something I'll be looking out for. And currently, we have a bit of a move towards the upside. Right, so let's observe. Let me refresh on the 15. We had some always interesting bullish CVDs after hitting support on the 15-minute time frame at least, because apparently on the 5 we did not. Let me check 3-minute time frame. Yeah, on the 5-minute and the 3-minute, I mean, price moving up, CVD moving up, a little bit of bullish CVDs here, but there's no clear. We had one bull CVD on the 15, but not visible on the 5 and 3, and on the 3 you only had one here. So yeah, you would like to see that continue. Every local range that price is going to form, you want to see bullish CVDs, right? That would be positive. And then we know our main area of resistance, right, around 59.5K, aware of the weekly naked point of control at 59.1. And take it from there. See if we get resistance or if we continue, no? Because keep in mind, 4-hour probabilities remain higher still to take 63K. And if we do zoom out, even if you do move to 55, and if you do move to 55, we are aware of continuation. So we want to wait patiently if it does go down that far. We got to wait patiently for a range to form and proof of support. But you do have bullish CVDs here on the 1 hour as well, locally here as well. And if price can continue up and break market structure to the upside, right, with consistent bullish CVDs on a 3, 5, 15, that would be good. But at the moment, there's definitely here an impulsive, by the looks, impulsive move down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the potential of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. One more low, maybe wick below the support. A little bit of a fake out that, and then get the retracement. Interesting. But by all means, looking for price to move into the fibs retracement, and then take it from there, where this is a very long 4-wave C. If this would be a flat, and like that needs to be ABC, something like this. So now you have structure 1, structure 2. You would look for another zigzag up. But that would only fit a bigger flat. A, B, D, bum, bum. That's too far ahead. Let's take it step by step. I update 3 times a day, so we are definitely always on top of what price is doing. So yeah, that's what we're looking for at the moment. If an impulse down, we're looking for a C, A, or 1. It did hit the common target for wave B. Then yeah, so you can have zigzag XY, WXY, but let me do, I'm gonna, so this goes really quick, but I'm just talking while doing some live analysis. Didn't hit the 0.7, so there is the potential here for at least a double zigzag up, but WXY, if you're looking for WX is finished and then a Y or impulsive continuation, you don't want this to be a 3, you want this to be a 5. 1, 2, 3, or A, B, C. If this becomes WXY, then we're going to be looking for a bigger flat because you expect the lows to be taken. So that is something we gotta keep in mind there. Yeah. And of course, bearish is A or 1, 2 or B, 3 or C. The moment you hit the 886, 60K taken from the current high to the low, and if price does come down once more to test the daily from the high to wherever the low is, that would increase probabilities to take the highs. So let's see what you guys have been chatting about. So probabilities remain pretty much the same as this morning. We just have a bit of additional information because of the local move down. probabilities on the 15-minute played out that we had this morning. So weekly time frame at the moment still remains bullish. But on the 4-hour, and therefore the daily as well, the 4-hour has a higher probability of still taking of it being a WXY, so from 49k up being a W, a 3-wave structure. If bullish, then we want to see an impulse up towards 65, 68k instead of a 3-wave structure. So on the 1-hour, probabilities remain higher to still take 63k at some point. On the 4-hour, currently probabilities are bearish, right? So after taking 63, preferably, and move towards 65, 68, you then come back down. But depending on the move up on the 1-hour, we can reanalyze 4-hour probabilities. And the weekly remains unchanged. So interesting. And then on the 50-minute time frame, we are looking for price to move into the fibs and take it from there. Difficult to say if this is a wave C or a wave A or 1. But short term probability is higher to move into the fibs. We have very clear resistance to the upside, 59.150, 59.5. Those are your two main areas. The potential still here for 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, sharp 4, and then another 5, and then up, or just continue up. I don't care. But the probabilities are higher still to move into the fibs here at some point. So that's something we are going to keep an eye on. And if you hit 59.1, then this is not a wave 4 anymore. Pretty much if you move above this range now with this local move up, the probabilities already go down that this is a 4. So you might have a finished move down. So okay. So there you go. Very, very interesting. We started pin it. So I have 15 minutes on some questions. Let's have a quick look up here. What is more rare, a truncation of wave 5 or a running flat? Truncation. That's an easy question. Yeah, truncation, 100%. That's more rare than a running flat. Especially in a trending environment, running flats increase in probabilities. Not like they're the highest probability flat, by the way, but they are more common when you're in a strong trending environment because of the shallow retracements. So you tend to see wave C's not moving below your wave A's. Yo, Dasa Gaming, how you doing, man? You were here at the end of last week, but before, I think the last live stream, maybe yesterday, but before that, I haven't seen you for a while, so good to have you here. Good to have you here. Welcome, man. New daily day, yeah, 59.5, yes, resistance. Give the dude a thumbs up. Yo, Tim, cheers, man. Tim Boerboom, yo. Yeah, so I answered this one during the stream. So Myth, what's up? How you doing? How you doing? Good to have you here, man. Great to see your accounts. A nice blue badge behind the name. Such a legend. 1 hour, or 1 hour, 1 year being part of the channel. Jeez. Yeah, so this was during the analysis as well. I've been getting headaches trying to read the charts lately. When things are not clear, either zoom out or zoom in. So if you have no idea on a 15-minute time frame what's going on, just zoom out to the 1 hour and look at this structure, right? And if you have no idea what's going on the 1 hour time frame, right, then zoom out again to a 4 daily or weekly, but find the time frames that provide clarity, right? So if you have no idea what's happening on a 15-minute, right, then you're like, okay, let me go to the 1 hour and analyze this structure. Is it corrective or impulsive? What do your probabilities say? And then, of course, make a plan accordingly. And you don't even really have to know what's happening locally on the 15 to trade your probabilities accordingly, right? So if this structure has a higher probability of being corrective and you still look for price to move up, you can make a plan for it, right? Even if you do move down one more time. So yeah, find the time frames that provide the clarity. You also see in my content, sometimes I do not cover certain time frames. Of course, sometimes a video is focused on the low time frame, sometimes on the high time frame, but I also tend to only, of course, analyze time frames that provide a sense of clarity, right? Makes sense. Because sometimes a time frame is just not clear, right? So yeah, and then we just have to wait, but we can analyze other structures and get a good idea of probabilities. And there we go. The 0.382 is about to get touched. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Discord is a great place to discuss how to enter a trade when bullish CVD happening. I'm not a financial advisor, but if you want to know more about how to trade CVD, then you go here to the Good to Know channel in Discord and you download the one pager, right? That's the most simplistic way of how to trade CVD divergences. And then make sure you implement CVD into your plan with your other tools. While we hold 60K, 50K support to build price here, and then after upon 63. What is your take on invalidating absorption? Is there anything to take from that? Invalidating absorption would just be taking a low, but of course, or a high, depending on the divergence. But if you on a 1 hour time frame, right? Imagine we're on the 4 hour, and on the 4 hour time frame, actually this is literally what we have on price at the moment, right? On the 4 hour we have this, right? And then we have all of this. Now, if on a 15-minute time frame you would consistently create bearish CVDs as price is bouncing, these bearish CVDs would have a higher probability than the bullish CVD here. Local CVDs always have priority over the bigger CVD on the chart. We'll bounce from 43K to 63, and then we'll see Black Swan event with Bitcoin 2830. After that, bull market will start. Wow. Imagine Bitcoin again at 2830. Holy shit. I wouldn't mind. 2830. You never know. You got to be prepared. We do have a scenario that can go that low on the weekly. It doesn't have the highest probabilities just yet, but it's interesting. But Gabriel, from 43 to 63. What structure are you looking for? If you move first to 43 and then 63, it's not a flat. It has to be a zigzag with probably an expanding diagonal in a wave A, B to 63, and then C to 30. That would be the only way you are probably analyzing the chart. Of course, an expanding diagonal is always rare and never preferred unless other stuff fails, but it is at least something to be aware of. Would be interesting, though. And then I think 43 would mean 1, 2. I mean, with an expanding leading diagonal, preferably your 5 is already in, meaning A is in. A lot of stuff I do in my head now, of course, but probably Gabriel, you'll understand I'm answering your question. To reach a bit above 60, dump in A, B, 62, 63. Yeah. So another three-way structure up. The range is a triangle. And move above 58,650 is impulse down 50. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I didn't really look for triangles. 1, 2, 1, 2. Luckily, I got 3 longs in. Send it. According to the ETF, there is better probability to go up before any sell of their part. Yeah, so I'm not a fundamental trader. So I do not use ETF and news and empty gawks and you know, the stuff that that many people keep an eye on. I just read the chart. The chart pretty much gives me all the information I need. But based on Elliott waves, I would agree. Mm-hmm. Crypto gods, yeah. Okay. Very, very nice. Guys, FYI, I gotta go in only a few minutes. I gotta go in only a few minutes because I have a meeting where a company is going to present their plan to build a koenztrading website. No? Exactly. That's about to happen. Well, will probably take a while though. Oh, my water is finished. The pitch meeting. Yeah, they're pretty much pitching to me. So let's see if they prepared well, and if they what I like to see. So I've seen many pitches, and people also trying to get my business, if you know what I mean. Also with previous entrepreneurial endeavors. We had a couple of companies pitching website ideas and stuff, so I know like what to look for. But what I really like to see is proactivity. So yeah, I don't like too much text and stuff, but I like the proactivity of already thinking about, hey, we could like design this bit and that bit, like these colors, and already put it on a website as or at least in a design in a PowerPoint, so you get a great idea. Not just write it like we can do this and make this, like I prefer to see it visual. That is something that I would really like to see. Thinking ahead and also thinking about different things is what I like. So of course I have an idea of what I want, but I really enjoy if a company or other people are proactive, thinking about, hey, you know, you said X, but we have been thinking about X and comparing it to Y and Z, and we actually think that Z is better because this and this. So that they're already thinking ahead of, you know, based on what you're looking for, this implements better. And yeah, that's something that I would like to see as well. And research, because I did mention, like, I need a payment provider or a payment system for crypto. But I didn't do my research in that. I actually did it a little bit this morning, but it would be great if they actually come up with, hey, you know, we've been looking online, we have compared different companies, these are the best that we found, we could implement these in such a way. You know, that's what I like as well. It's not just like, I like proactivity, right? Like I prefer people being proactive and doing stuff, daring to share things, and it doesn't matter if I like it or not. I prefer to have that proactivity and then have a discussion and talk about it, compared to people that are not proactive at all and literally execute what you ask, but they're afraid to take it a little bit further. So to think also for themselves, oh, Koen is looking for this, so we just do this. Okay, but do you have ideas yourself, and did you sit with your team, and did you design some things up front? You know, that's what makes it interesting. So yeah, anyway, we hit the 382 clearly. All right, nice move to the upside. So a bit of volume, I suppose, coming in as well. Yeah, a bit of a volume increase, but so for the bulls, it's important to keep hold of the market structure. If you're looking for an impulse, being a 1-2, 1-2, and the move of a wave 3 up, you don't want to change the structure. All right, so that would be important for the bulls, is moving up, not change structure. Else you're going to think about corrective moves. Currently, the highest amount of volume is in your high, so what you're looking for minimum would be a 4 and 5 to take the high once again, because you're moving up with ever so slightly increasing volume. So you want to see that continue, you know. Okay, time to go, everyone. Time to go. Time to move into my meeting. Tonight will be another update, right? So let's see if Bitcoin is gonna give us any interesting price action, and then we'll take it from there. So tonight is a normal video, right? Another update. Tomorrow morning is the same. For your information, this weekend I will be in the Netherlands for the Grand Prix in Zandvoort. I will leave Friday morning. I'll be back Monday evening. So those 4 days will likely be no content, at least not on YouTube, but probably there will be on in the silver section because it's easier to do stuff on my phone than bringing my whole setup with, and you know. So yeah, that is gonna come this weekend, but I'll write a post about it. So how are you? I have a question. I'm doing good, but I hope you're good as well. But I have to go because I have a business meeting. So Mohib, if you have a question, I recommend to write that question in Discord and tag me. Right, just tag me, and I'll make sure to later answer your question in Discord. Okay, so just at koenztrading in Discord. Put your question in the questions to Koen or general or question section somewhere, and I'll make sure to answer it. Okie dokie, and we get that sorted. So, thanks everyone. I'm gonna catch you at the next stream.